Hey, it's Fiona, and I wanted to make another making a character video with this anime app thing. Sorry about the background noise if you hear that. Our dogs are being assholes. So, the character I'm gonna make this time, and you see I've already gone through all this because sometimes this app glitches out. So I went through all the little listing things here. Things you can tap on, different things you can add to make sure that they all work and everything's all there are options when you tap on them. So that's why we started out on clothing this time. But as always, we're gonna start with the head, and this time I wanted to make I can't decide between if I want to make Ivory, or no, it's Ebony. Ebony's the other one. I can't decide if I want to make Ebony or if I want to make Paradise Falls as a person. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with Ebony. I'm just gonna make 2 videos tonight. Okay, so as always, we start with the body and the head. Because you can't have a headless body. So, Ebony is one of 2 sisters in my story. Now, in the present day, sorry. In the present day that the story is taking place, she is an adult. She's very, very old, which doesn't look like an old woman. Plot reasons. Ebony is one of 2 sisters. And she, despite her name being Ebony, which is a color that is really dark, her hair is very light. Yes, her and her twin sister, their names correlate to the color that their hair is not. They enjoy that irony. I did that because I wanted characters with color names. Not because I thought it was clever. It just sounded good to me. So, we're making her from the present time, so that means she has to have really long hair. Because in the past she had shorter hair. Which the past for her is a prequel. Because yes, I've got prequels planned for this story. I've got pretty much the entire story planned out. It's taken me like half a year to plan everything out, and I had to go through several rewrites, but anyway. So, we're making Ebony. Now, in this present day, I think that's Miku's hair. In this present day, she's got really long hair, and her hair is devoid of pigment, which means it would be white. I am almost entirely certain, and that is not. Okay, well, those 2 shades of white aren't fitting each other, so. Find one that does. In present day, she's got very long hair. She hasn't cut her hair in a very long time. I guess that could work. I'm trying to remember like how her and her sister looked. How they will look in the gotcha video that I'm going to be making. I'm going to be working on it this weekend. Or well, this Saturday at least, because Sunday me and my sister watch Beyblade together. But anyway. Just need like a really pure white. Well, that's Natsuki's hair. Natsuki's not a character of mine. She's just a character I know of. actually, yeah, that right there, that can work really well. So in present day, Ebony is an adult. I feel like I said that like 10,000 times now, so you're probably getting sick of hearing that. So you're like, yeah, we get it. But anyway, that's because it's the first thing that comes to my mind when I'm trying to explain her. She's an adult. She's got really bother to go to the barber shop. And in the story, she's a bit of a hard ass. Like, for a while, she's just not a very pleasant person. In the, well, that doesn't look right. In the, present day, that is. I'm trying to find that. Her skin tone is also kind of weird, which puts her... She's got like this sort of, well, not blue skin, but she's got like this sort of, wet sand color skin in the story. Oh yeah, there we go, that's perfect. Her skin is the color of wet sand, like sand from the beach. And that is because of stuff you find out in the prequel. But we're making her from present time, which means she's got to have like this sort of smug look about her. Because in present time, not only she's not a nice person, or not a very nice person, she's not pleasant. Because of all the shit that she's had to go through. She's a bit of a bitch, and she's got her own goals that she's working towards as well. Now, in the story, she plays two roles in the first book, at least. She plays two roles. One is she's actually the leader of the Dark Guild that ends up playing a major role in one of the character arcs. And then the second role she plays is because of an odd coincidence that just happened to happen, and also him being insane. She is sort of the messenger deity figure that the outcasts will have. And I'm only saying all of this to whoever's watching this because I seriously doubt anyone watching this is reading my story at all. So she becomes their like deity figure, sort of. Like they think that she is their goddess's daughter. She's not, by the way. I mean, I think that would be pretty obvious. But, you know, Reuben is sort of insane. And the outcasts, their leader, him being insane, I know that everything he does is fucking crazy and no sane person would ever think to do it. Like, taking people's souls and praising some moon goddess. Yeah, I don't think that a sane person would really do that. That's the point. The point is that these people are following this guy who is so desperate for answers that he'll go to the most extreme of extremes. So anyway, and as their little deity figure, I don't have a dress here that I was going to use for her. As their deity figure, she dresses And it turns out for her cause, and the cause of another character who's a major role of the first book, to their luck, this was actually for the better. That she get, seen as like this deity, or this figurehead, or some kind of like, I don't really know what you would, a demigod in human form, I don't really know what you would call it, but they think that she is the child of their goddess. So where's the tattoos? And this gives way to letting her sort of go about her own goals, because the outcasts are poking their nose where it don't belong. And that's gonna get them in trouble, because Ebony, she looks gorgeous. She does not take shit from anyone. She will hurt you. She will hurt pretty much anyone, especially if they threaten her sister. Because the loyalty that those two have to each other, Ebony and Ivory, it is frightening. It is oftentimes described as frightening. And when someone hurts one of them, the other one essentially kind of turns into a different person in terms of personality. So I just want to make sure I got the right one, because I know that's not it. I had one here that was like bird wings, and that's like the mark that they have. That's their sigil. Alright, sigils. A sigil is... Weavers are these people who can, like, see the threads that hold, essentially realms together. And they can use their power, they use this power to, like, thread the threads together, knit the threads together, and then they can go from, like, say, a sanctuary to the next realm over. So I've had this planned out since, like, I don't know, 6 months ago. I know the amount of time that I've spent working on it because my very first file on Wattpad, that's the premise, because I write the ideas down and then go over them over and over and keep refining them. The premise, it says like when it was started, the number of when it was started is 6 months ago. It might be 7 at this point, but last time I checked it was 6 months. So what is this? No. So yeah, whatever, fine. I'll just take this weird wings one. Anyway, so the sigils are marks that appear on a weaver's body. Usually they appear sometime around puberty. You know, because that's when, like, the magic in someone's body usually wakes up. In the magical dimension, which is the world that my story is set in. Uncreative name, I know, but what else was I gonna call it? So it usually wakes up around puberty, which is, you know, it makes sense because a lot of things happen during puberty. So I try to see which looks would be best for her. So make her look smug. Unhappy, smug. Maybe the different eyebrows would help. The sigils appear on a weaver's body, and that's one of the tells that they are a weaver, because they have a sigil mark. And the sigil mark, they're different depending on... They kind of reflect, like, who you are, or what your purpose is. So, like, take Zeke, for instance. I mean, this is going to be kind of spoilers, but his sigil mark is going to be a pair of wings, and the centerpiece is going to be a star. That is representative of his role in the story, because I'm not incredibly original. I'm gonna let you try to figure out what his role in the story is. Oh yeah, angry eyebrows. That's a good one. That's it. Wait, I probably should have went with like a different body type, because it's got body types where there's like they got scars on them. But yeah, because like this one would have been more fitting. Whatever, we work with what we got. So, and Ivory and Ebony's are the exact same, like down to the detail. Ebony and Ivory are carbon copies of each other, except for their pigmentation. Ivory has blue eyes. Ebony has red eyes. Ivory has just, you know, she's regular Caucasian. She's white. And Ebony has this kind of off-white, sandish tone. Yeah, I need to change her skin tone a little bit more. Screw it. And there's a very good reason why only their faces are the same, their eyes are the same shape, their lips are the same shape, their eyebrows are the same shape. Everything about them, their bodies are the same. Everything about them is exactly identical except for their palette. They even wear the same clothes. Well, in their time they did. In the prequel, they wear the same clothes, because when Ebony is wearing her long, dress that the outcasts give her to wear, because they think it's proper attire for her, Ivory's not wearing that. It's not a thing of like, it's not a thing of like, whatever one does, the other's compelled to do, or some shit like that. Or like, by the law of the universe, they have to match. It's a thing that they always did. So, does she have earrings? Well, as the outcast person, she probably does have earrings. Because, classiness. Yeah, that would probably work. Of course, I also gotta give her ears now too, because that one is not covered by the hair. It just looks like it's hanging off her face. witches well enough. So, and she's a bitch. I'm just gonna put it out there. Ebony in the main line, she is a bitch. She does not care much for other people. She does not care much for really anything except her sister. And the reason that being seen as like the next coming of their goddess, even though she's not, the reason it's a good thing for her is because it gives her an N. Like an N, like a I-N, an N. Well, that kind of looks cute. I like how the witch's hat looks on her, but it gives her an end to their ways. You know, it gives her an end to their castle. Because yes, they live in a castle. The outcasts live in a castle. So it gives her a way in, and then she can give a way in to somebody else. Because the outcasts are poking their nose around in her business. And that is a no-no. They're poking their ugly noses all up in her business. Wow, I can just keep on adding these. I didn't know that. I can just keep on making the... Oh, that's cool. But she only needs the one. So while she's getting this in for her, and this other person who I think I'm gonna name Leon, I haven't totally figured out the name yet. I'm not at that part of the story yet. Like writing-wise, writing it all out, not just like a overall draft, but like chapters. I'm not at that part yet, but for his in, well, I lost my point. But while she's getting this in for them, she's also got, I'm not gonna lie, the emotional scene that's going to come up, it's only going to make complete sense if you read the sequel, or the prequel, the prequel, which is essentially her and Ebony, her and Ivory. Their names are so similar, I get them mixed up. Sometimes when I'm absent-mindedly talking. Her and Ivory's story, and their guild, and Cassius, and Eris, which I'm going to name the girl I don't care. There's a little girl character, and her name is going to be Eris. I have decided this, and no one can make me undecided. That's cool. So, well, I'm not crazy about that hand effect. It's definitely the right color, but it's just like... Well, maybe a pair of scissors. Oh, she definitely wears a pair of gloves. But that's... They look more like they're made out of monster hide. Not Monster High, Monster Hide. You can't turn a franchise aimed at teenage girls or young tweens into Actually, yeah, I think that works best. So, just makes them pinker. Yeah, there you go. So, her placement, she plays an important part in the series overall. Her characteristics are she's a bit of a bitch. She's more than a bit of a bitch. She's very serious, and she does not like the queen at all. She's devoted to her sister. She's not undevoted to the survivors who are still around from her time. And where they meet her is a very important location. And yes, I know she's got white hair, and bad people having white hair in white or silver hair is a trope. She's not a bad guy. She's gonna be a dislikable character, but she's not a villain. If anything, she's more of a jackass of a anti-hero. Because what she's doing, she's not doing it for, very bad reasons. I really like how she came out. The long hair, and I even put the little crown on her. They do give her her own little crown. At Chateau de la something or another. It basically translates in French to Castle of the Lost, because I'm original. That was heavy sarcasm. So, anyway, I was just rambling while I made her for this. Now I'm going to save this character model, and we're probably going to get an ad, which means I will be editing this. Because y'all don't need to be sitting and seeing an ad. You didn't come here for an ad. I don't know what you came here for, but you didn't come here for an ad. Okay, so if you're very curious, that ad that just played was for something called CapCut. So anyway, let's give her a background. The perfect background for Ebony, aka the Obsidian Witch. That's too Halloween-y. I know the background for it, but it involves watching an ad, so be back in a second. And that's the perfect background for her, because it looks like old-timey prophecy paper. I don't know how else to describe it. So there you have it. That is Ebony, aka the Obsidian Witch. I really don't know what else to say. I hope this was entertaining. And I honestly wish when I'm talking like this I could explain my characters better. But I don't have this written out in a script. This is just me talking for the sake of talking. So, yeah.